Hello Libra, welcome back to my channel. My name is Aviana. This is Aviana's Ascension, and today we are going to do a reading for the month of September to see what is coming your way. Of course, this is a general reading, so just take what feels right for you, leave the rest behind, and if you would like the most accurate message for the month, check out your other placements, okay? So for your vision for the month of September, first of all, while I was shuffling the cards in the Oracle deck, the Divine Masculine kind of stuck out for me and was kind of sitting there, and I was like, all right. And then I saw you guys were like holding like a chain, and it was like white knuckles holding on tightly. And then I just saw you guys like release it, and then you kind of fell into like an ocean, and Spirit was saying, flow with it, don't flow against it. Okay, so I can see that there's something that you're really wanting to get through, work through, and I think you're using an approach of kind of like force and control, where this is a situation where you need to tap into the feminine energy and you need to flow and maybe go within and listening to your intuition and exploring your inner world and your emotions rather than trying to see what you can do externally or what you can get done to get this where you want it to be. This is a situation where you really have to surrender and allow the divine, allow the universe to guide you through it rather than trying to force your way through it. Okay, so let's see what's going on. We're going to do a Celtic cross today, so we're going to get that going, and then we'll see what's at the bottom of the deck for you. Okay. Okay, so bottom of the deck, okay, we have the Ace of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the Six of Cups, Two of Cups, King of Cups. Okay, so with the Queen of Wands, Ace of Wands, this is a situation where a new beginning is very possible here for you, but you have to do it from a sense of that feminine power. You have to know that you are very capable and you know how to flip this into something that works for you. But I do feel like you have to move from that feminine energy. You have to know that it comes from within you. It's not about going outside of yourself to find these answers or anything like that. The fire is within you, the power is within you. So, how can you tap into that and believe in your ability to just turn this around? It's not through force, it's not through what people around you or your environment, it's not about that, but it's about tapping into yourself and making that happen from within. Okay, and with the Six of Cups, Two of Cups, this could involve a relationship, whether it's family, friends, romantic. This is something where there's been a lot of time and energy put into this situation. So it's kind of like you're looking to this other person for the answers, but again, the answers are within you. Okay, you definitely have to get kind of in control of your emotions at this time. I think that you really are looking to others for guidance, but that is keeping you very stuck. So how can you lean on yourself? How can you trust yourself in this situation? Okay, let's get into it. So the current situation you're in, we have the Hierophant here. You could be dealing with a Taurus, but this definitely has to do with either a long-term commitment, a marriage, or some sort of like traditional way of doing something following the status quo. I think you're trying to look to others or the past for guidance here, or like you're trying to see like, okay, well, what have I always done? Like how have I gotten myself out of this situation before? And I do think that you're needing to look at things in a new perspective. All right, so let's see. Tell me more about the Hierophant for Libra. All right, we do have the Hermit and we have the Eight of Wands. Yeah, it's like the clarity and the direction that you're looking for is within you. The Hermit is all about going within for that guidance and listening to your intuition. So the Hierophant, that's cool because the Hierophant and the Hermit do remind me of each other, but the Hierophant is about sharing your insights and like feeling like you're the oracle between like the heaven and the earth and kind of using that yourself as that bridge. But the Hermit is about like coming to these realizations and having that connection with the divine, but using it to guide yourself. So maybe you're trying to give a lot of people advice and guidance, but really you should be giving yourself that advice and guidance. And, you know, it's time for you to guide yourself, not guide others. And it's time for you to trust yourself rather than trusting other people to guide you at this time. Okay, we do have the Magician, the Knight of Swords. So it's time for you to really trust in your own power, your own magic, and follow your own truth rather than other people's truth or what has been tried and true before. It's time for a new method, a new approach. Yeah, I think you know that it's time for you to go towards something new, but there is a lot of like worry and fear when it comes to that. So definitely take a step back from this situation and allow yourself to just collect yourself within rather than looking for, things going smoothly around you to decide if you're okay. All right, so the challenge, we do have the Three of Swords. So there's been a lot of pain, a lot of heartbreak, disappointment. And sometimes whenever situations are accompanied with those energies, we can feel very stuck and feel like we can't trust ourselves and we don't know what to do. So I feel like Spirit is trying to get you to move past the pain of the situation and go back within yourself to learn how you can trust yourself again. All right, tell me more about the Three of Swords. See, we have the Lovers and the Two of Cups here. So this, and the Ten of Cups. Okay, hold on. The King of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah. There's a lot of love and a lot of time spent with something, spent with this person, spent with this relationship, this connection. And it feels like you're giving up a lot in order to honor what works best for you, what is right for you. Okay, with the King of Cups here, you're definitely being asked not to give your energy away to the emotions and the nostalgia with something. And yeah, it just feels like it's time for a new beginning in a connection, in a relationship, and you have to, kind of loosen your grip and allow yourself to go towards something new. It's like you're abandoning yourself just to stay in something that's comfortable. Yeah. Okay, so what to focus on? We have the Seven of Wands. So you may be feeling like you're really having to defend yourself or advocate for yourself at this time. And especially if you're in a partnership, it shouldn't feel like it's you versus the other person or versus everyone else, but it should feel like, like you're working together. Even if it's a situation where you're at odds, you should still be able to communicate to come together. It shouldn't be one person carrying all of it. Okay. Tell me more about the Seven of Wands. Ooh, I almost didn't want to flip out. All right, we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. Yeah. I just feel like you need to honor your truth and go towards what is right for you. I don't think you should compromise so much of yourself and what is right for you in order to maintain this connection. I do feel like there could be a lot of stability connected to this other person, so that makes you maybe question yourself or question if something is right for you, but you know what's right for you. You know what your truth is and what works, and I don't think you should compromise that for stability or security. Yeah, it's like eventually you're going to get to a place where you're thriving and doing great all by yourself. So I don't think you should try to compromise on that. You have to believe in yourself and your ability to recover and move on from this, you know? All right. So in the recent past, we do have the Knight of Cups. So that does tell me there was a lot of love, a lot of vulnerability, admiration in this connection here. Of course there was. You know, you wouldn't stick around something where you weren't feeling emotionally fulfilled or feeling like there was a lot of love there. But again, if this is not the case anymore, you can't let what was the past motivate you for your future, you know? Tell me more about the Knight of Cups. Yeah, it's like you're feeling very abandoned and neglected now. You know, where there was once a lot of love and a deep connection, it just feels like there's nothing and emptiness, and you're trying to get back to that space, but that's just keeping you stuck in a cycle. Yeah, see, we have the Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords. This turned into something that was very toxic, it feels like. Like someone may have been taking advantage of you, or maybe you of this other person. And it feels like now, where there was a lot of love, it just feels like everyone's trying to survive and look out for their own best interest, you know? And while that is disappointing, you know, as things, relationships, as they grow and change, so do people within those connections. So if you feel like it's really changed into something that you can't even recognize anymore, then, you know, what are we doing? We do have the Page of Cups, the Queen of Wands. Yeah, I just feel like you need to remind yourself that you don't have to settle. You can create a beautiful life for yourself. And if that means you have to walk away from something that was once very beautiful, then that's what that means. But you're going to be able to recover and kind of regain that sense of self. Okay. So, some possibilities with this situation, we do have the Ace of Pentacles. So this is about like having a new start. This is investing in new things, you know, planting seeds that have a very good potential to grow into something very beautiful. But you also have to leave your comfort zone and allow yourself to explore out of what you know to be comfortable and safe, you know? Tell me more about the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like we have, okay, we have the Moon, the Devil, the Two of Swords. So I think the reason this situation has been so hard is because you don't even see like a future outside of this. Like you don't see that if you move on from this, that there is a potential for new growth, new stability, new security. It's like staying in a job because you don't see any other options. Like you're like, I couldn't make this money anywhere else. Well, that's a very limiting belief, you know? Like there's so many different job opportunities and titles and certifications and education you can get to help you expand your wings and go towards new beginnings, but you don't even see that as an option. You're like pigeonholing yourself here. You're definitely going to have to make a decision, and I feel like that decision is going to involve you, you know, like making peace with something and choosing to move on from this. All right, so in the near future, we do have the King of Swords, which is your card, Libra. So I see you choosing to honor your truth. Okay, you recognize not everyone's going to agree with it, not everyone's going to believe in it, but your truth is your truth. Your life is your life. So you have to honor what feels right for you and what doesn't. And you cannot wait for the external validation or for it to get comfortable. You're going to have to do something scared, but you have to believe in yourself to be able to do that, you know? Tell me more about the King of Swords. All right, we have the Death card and the Six of Wands. Yeah, I see you choosing to walk away from a situation, and I see that there is going to be a lot of success, a lot of support, a lot of people looking up to you for doing that. Like it is a very admirable thing to be able to embrace a change, even though you don't know what's going to happen. But if you know you're going to be okay, you have the support surrounding you, there should be nothing keeping you stuck. Okay. Because look, you got your Eight of Swords, the Six of Cups. Yeah, there's a lot of like past memories, childhood memories that are keeping you stuck here. And a big part of it is your own mindset. You not thinking you can overcome this, you not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel is definitely something that's keeping you stuck in a cycle that you've been needing to break out of for a long time. Yeah, it's like you're trying to make something work, but it's just not meant for it. And you're abandoning yourself in that process. All right. So advice for you is the Queen of Swords. I'm telling you what, they are this is my Judge Judy card. All right. She doesn't care about your emotions or your woes. She cares about the facts of the situation. Okay? That's what you need to be doing. Don't worry about the memories or how things used to start or how things used to be. Don't worry about, well, when I was a kid, this is how that played out and da 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 da. Like, look at the facts of the situation. Are you happy? Do you feel good? Do you feel supported? If not, then you need to go towards things that do make you happy. And don't worry about, your fears or how it's going to impact other people. You just got to draw the line in the sand. All right, tell me more about the Queen of Swords. All right, we have the Seven of Pentacles with the Empress here. Yeah, I just feel like you really have to choose yourself at this time. With the Empress card, that is that divine feminine energy, and we've been talking about you tapping into that as a way to help you through this. And the Seven of Pentacles is also being patient. So Spirit is saying that you are definitely going to be able to recover from this and move forward, and it is going to make you much more powerful. But you have to advocate for that for yourself first and foremost, okay? Spirit is saying like you're not going to go through this and, kind of be like fall flat on your face. Like that's not what's going to happen. But you do have to be patient for this to unfold and for you to kind of regain your connection to your own self and your own belief in yourself, It just feels like you've really put a lot of faith in this connection and in this other person, but what about the faith in your own self? You got to follow your heart, you got to follow your truth. All right, so what's around you in your environment that's impacting you is the Seven of Cups. So yeah, there's just a lot of confusion. Like maybe this person doesn't know what they want, you don't know what you want. So you need to get clear on what brings you fulfillment. All right. I also feel like you're letting this other person decide a lot for you when it's like, again, what do you want to do? What makes you happy? What do you want to commit to? You don't have to have all these answers immediately, but you also can't wait for this other person to decide for you what your life is going to look like and what's going to happen next, because you also have autonomy here. Tell me more about the Seven of Cups. Yeah, I just feel like you've given a lot of power to this other person. And I feel like you try to communicate, you try to say what you want to do, or maybe you're too scared to say that. But with the Ace of Swords, the Emperor, like you have a lot of power here. And at the end of the day, like you just need to get clear on what it is that you want to invest in and what you want to commit to. It's not just about what this person wants, it's also about what you want. And this person could be a bit of a steamroller, like maybe you do try to express yourself and say your needs, but then they say like, oh, that doesn't make sense. Like that's not what we're doing. You know, like I do feel like the communication is very fractured here. And so it just feels like, again, like you've given up a lot of power here, but you got to recognize like your opinion is just as important. Your needs are just as important. So I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so your hope or your fear is the Two of Pentacles. So this is about getting your priorities in check and deciding, you know, what do I want to give my attention to? What do I want to grow? What do I not have time for anymore? Okay. I want you to get clear on that. And I don't want you to be scared of that. And maybe you're scared that if this other person is weighing their options, they don't have you as one of their priorities. But what are your priorities? What makes you happy? I feel like you're just like forgetting that, and you're not like, it's like you're trying to drown yourself to fight the waves that are coming, but instead you just need to surrender and allow it to flow. And in that process, you can figure out, okay, this is what makes sense and this is what doesn't. Give yourself the opportunity to figure that out, you know? Tell me more about the Two of Pentacles. We have the Four of Wands, Three of Cups, King of Pentacles, and the Justice card. That is your card, Libra. Yeah, you need to be more about you and your truth and what works for you. I think that there's been a lot of opinions from other people. And maybe it's because you don't want to let anyone down, or you don't want to make the wrong decision. So you're asking for opinions and guidance, which is fine. You're allowed to do that. But at the end of the day, you have to make the decision. You have to decide if this is something you want to continue or not. And only you know if that's what's right for you. So maybe journal about it. Maybe write a pros and cons list. You know, you can get a tarot reading about it if you want. But at the end of the day, this has to be your decision. And I do think that you want like the best of both worlds. You want to have this commitment, but you also want to have your own autonomy and independence. And, you know, all you can do is communicate that. And if it's not respected and honored or well received, then you got to make some decisions. Yeah, it's like you've been putting a lot of work into this. You've been really trying to figure out how to make something work and how to make it happy again. But I don't see that being the end result here. I feel like you've been trying and trying and trying. And if it's not working, what are you going to do? You know, are you going to keep abandoning yourself, or are you just going to cut your losses? All right. And your final outcome is the Ten of Wands. So I definitely see you're not giving up on this, and you're kind of carrying the whole team on your back, literally. You know, this is someone who, you know, like you see the finish line, you see where this thing could go, but you also see this other way. So it's like, what are you willing to put up with? That's what I want to ask you. Like, when is enough enough? And I think you should figure out where your bandwidth is, the capacity. And if you feel like you've reached past that, honor that. If you feel like I can keep going, I don't want to give up on this yet, that's allowed too. You know, it's whatever works for you. Tell me more about the Ten of Wands. But it's just like you can't be the only one trying to make something work, though, you know? I mean, I definitely feel like you're going to follow your heart, follow your intuition, and that's going to help you make this decision. Again, I'm not your intuition or your heart, so I can't tell you what to do specifically. But let's see. Yeah, I just feel like you're going to keep trying and trying, and then you're going to realize I need to move in a different direction. I feel like there needs to be a level of excitement when it comes to doing things your own way and reinvesting in yourself. It feels like there's a level of fear, like you don't want to be abandoned or rejected, so you're willing to make it work and, you know, figure it out. But, you know, if the math ain't mathin', then what? You know? It just feels like, yeah, you need to like go in your heart and see like Is a fresh start going to be better than trying to maintain something like this? It's your choice. It's whatever feels right for you, Libra. All right, we're going to close it out with some oracle cards. And if this resonated for you, Libra, let me know with a like, a comment. Definitely subscribe and share this video with a fellow Libra. All of that helps the channel grow. Thank you so much. Okay, so we have number 16, conception. The frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. I like that. So, Spirit's saying you do create your own reality here. So what is it that you want to bring into fruition? And, you know, what is it you're focusing on? Where are your thoughts, your energy going? If you're immediately going to like, oh, this is horrible and this isn't going to work out, then that's what's going to happen. But if you're not willing to accept that reality, then you need to shift your focus and, you know, focus on like, okay, well, how can I make this work? What are the positives of this? You know, and if you can't even see that, then you have to be real about what it is you're trying to force into being, and you might have to let some things go. But you do have a big co-creative role in this. So if that's not what you want, then be intentional about the energy that you're focusing on and that you're putting out there. All right, number 24, Earth. So some of you guys could be dealing with an Earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. The frequency of Earth activates our deep connection to this physical plane by showing us the beauty of all the aspects of our Great Mother and revealing the more ethereal, spiritual aspects of our nature. Beautiful. So some of you guys may benefit from spending some time outside in nature, maybe going on like some sort of camping trip or a hike or something like that. Just really getting grounded in the magic of Mother Nature and reminding yourself of that constant support, and just feel like getting out of your head and into your body and into the present will help you not overthink so much and help you have more appreciation for just life and being a human and the ups and downs that we face with it. And your last card, number 21, Divine Feminine, right? So we had the masculine in the beginning, now it's the feminine. The frequency of Divine Feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, you've really forgotten your power and forgotten your connection to everything. And through that kind of forgetfulness, I think you've really resulted in like trying to force, trying to control, trying to overthink things. And you need to just take a step back, get into your feminine energy, connect with Mother Nature, to just remind yourself that you are a significant person here and you have the ability to create a beautiful life for yourself. You just can't forget that. Okay? All right. That is your reading today, Libra. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys would like more from me, I do have all of my social media linked down below. You can check it out. I also have my website linked down below where you can book a personal tarot reading, an alchemy healing ceremony where we turn your past in your past pain into power. And you can also sign up for my newsletter. It's a great way to get spiritual guidance, rituals, meditations, affirmations, readings, all that good stuff. So check it out. But thank you so much for watching, Libra. I hope you have a beautiful day. I believe in you, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.